And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday, April 13th, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with our very special guest. So let me go ahead and... All right. All right, Fashion Boss, and we're back. Our next special guest has over 109 acting credits, and he's not only has 109 acting credits, he's also a producer and director as well also. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, Juan Riedinger. Hello, hello.
Hi, Stevie. How are you?
Welcome to the Dollhouse. It is such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. It's very, very good to be here. I appreciate you having me.
It is such a pleasure to have you here. So before we get into this interview, how has 2022 been for you thus far? Because I know it's been some ups and some downs with this pandemic and things. So how have you been managing through that?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good year, I'd say. We drove down from Canada. I'm Canadian, and I'm married, and I have twin boys. They're 5 years old, and we drove down from Canada in January and kind of set up shop here in LA. And I love LA so much. The weather's been fantastic, and it's been good, keeping busy and juggling a few things, but enjoying life.
All right. So let's get into it. You said Canada, Bancroft, correct?
I grew up in a town called Banff.
Banff,
And
okay.
it's named after a town in Scotland, actually. And it's in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. It's a great ski town, and it's a party town too. A lot of tourists come through there, and that's my hometown. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us how the journey was for Juan, how you began and how you became an actor.
How I became an actor? Well, I was studying biology and English in university in Calgary, and then I needed to fill an elective, and I was flipping through the calendar. I'm like, acting, that seems like because I was taking all these really difficult courses like calculus and physics and organic chemistry, and then on top of that poetry and English lit and all this, and I was just like, I want something simple, and acting seemed like I'd never really done it before in my life, and I was like, that seems like a class where I could just sort of get out of my head and try something different. And I took that class, and it changed my life, actually. That was my first introduction to acting, and I have never looked back since then.
Okay.
Actually, that summer I drove to LA, and I was sleeping in my car for 2 months, trying to audition for anything that I could. I was plugging my cell phone in gas station outlets and like burying it in flower beds because I needed my cell phone charged, even though it wasn't a smartphone or anything. This was way back when, but I needed to be able to communicate, and so that was a challenge. But it's the battle. It's what got me to where I am now. So.
And you have a prolific acting career, might I add. You have over 109 acting credits. You're not only an actor, but you're also a producer as well, too. So my question for you is, how do you find that balance from being a father, being a producer, director, and then being Juan, the actor as well, too?
Yeah, it's I find balance actually I value it a lot. I think if you can find ways to sort of just spread out where you're putting your time a little bit, and it's good for the mental health, I think, because otherwise one thing can become too precious. Like if I was just acting, it's almost like I would put too much pressure on it, I think, and I think it's nice to have another outlet as well. And directing for me has been that, and so I rarely I've never acted in anything that I've directed. I keep those worlds very separate because I just like to, I'm just like to focus on one thing at a time. I mean, parenting, that's a whole other beast. And you're kind of at the mercy of whatever the situation is there. Obviously, your kids are your priority, but that's been wonderful too. And I feel like it's made me it's made me a better storyteller and an actor. I think it's just allowed me to sort of access places in myself that I didn't even know existed. When you care about something that more than you do about yourself, it's something. It kind of opens something up, and so that was. I see you're
Uh oh, you
watching.
guys. Am I here, ladies and gentlemen? Am I
Yeah,
frozen?
you're back. You're back.
Okay. Okay.
I
It
was
went out.
worried it was me. Actually, my friend Scotty Liff is a very talented musician. He helped me make my first ever short film. So and he's tuned in right now. So just throwing a shout out that way.
Welcome, welcome, Scott. Welcome to the Dollhouse. We are here with Juan, and we're discussing his acting career. I can't even believe I'm saying 109, and even more than that. Like, my goodness. Like, did you ever in your career look back at some of your roles and be like, wow, I can't believe I starred in this project. I can't believe I've done this work. Do you ever just have that moment where you just sit back and just reflect on some of your work?
Yeah, yeah. I look back at my work, and I'm proud of. I always put 110% of myself in every single role that I get as an actor, and I it's just it's such a wonderful thing to be able to do because you're getting to live all these different lives and experience. And for me too, I've been lucky enough to actually get to go places and do and act, which is for me the ultimate experience. So I've shot in Colombia for a few months. I've been in Cuba.
Wow.
I've been to. I mean, you mentioned the show Claws. I did that in New Orleans, which was a really nice. Yeah, there you go. Claws up. Really nice intro to the to that part of the world. I'd never been to New Orleans before, and that it's. I've been so lucky. I've been so lucky, and it's nice because I hopefully I can do it for the rest of my life. There's no necessarily. It's like something like sports or something like that. I feel like you have more of a limited window because your body can only take so much. But acting is like I feel like you only just get better as the more you live, the more life experience you have. So hopefully I'll be able to continue to do it as long as I'm alive.
Absolutely. And I'm honored to have you here, to be sitting with you, because I've reviewed some of your work. And you've mentioned television shows, hit television shows. You've not only done Claws, but you've done NCIS, and you've also done another one of my favorites, Riverdale.
Oh,
So
okay,
tell us, yes, yes, I've done my research.
nice.
So tell us about Riverdale. What was the process like for you being on set? Because I know that show, ended in 2021, and at that time we were still battling with this pandemic, of course. So tell us, what was it like for you with that, balancing it out, being on set, and then being with family? Because I'm pretty sure you had to go to and from.
Yeah, well, that one shoots in Vancouver. So, and we were in Vancouver at the time, so that was convenient. It was just one of those ones. I did an audition. Um, and then it just clicked, and I got it was the role of Dodger, and I think I did 6 episodes, and it was a really fun role playing the local thug, and I was kind of antagonizing Archie, and though what blew me away with that show was the fan base. I never experienced anything like that. When it was announced that I was on that show, like I had all these, yeah, things kind of went a little nuts on social media and all that, and um, yeah, it's been a really cool thing to be a part of. Actually, I really enjoyed it, and it's, to be a part of such a global hit. And the people are great, especially like I worked mostly with KJ Appa, and the guy's he's a salt to the earth dude from New Zealand. Like doesn't seem to be any much ego. Like he's just really just a solid dude, and I enjoyed working with him. And yeah, it was just fun.
Okay, okay. So with Riverdale,
Yeah.
and you've mentioned, you played one of the people who antagonized on the show as well. So have you ever felt yourself getting caught up into a character where you just like, okay, I'm not no longer the character. Juan now. I'm no longer the character, but I need to separate the two. Have you ever felt yourself getting so caught up into a character where it's just like, okay, I need to pull back?
Um, yeah, that happens a lot. I find with independent films because TV and film are there's definitely some differences there. Um, Film it I find them to be a more immersive kind of experience, and there's been some roles actually since Scotty's still. What I did this film called On a Dark and Stormy Night, like way back when, and my character. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've played a lot of villains, and it's a little scary sometimes when you play those guys because yeah, you get kind of swept up. And I mean, I'm obviously not going to go out and like do anything crazy or illegal, but it's just something when you're in the skin of that character. There's almost a ceremony that I have, especially with okay. There's been a couple instances where I actually did not take the makeup off of the character for the duration of the shoot. Um, I'm kind of getting into Jared Leto territory with like that with that I guess with the I kind of just went all out with just being in it and trying to be as method as possible. And there were a couple instances where we were shooting chronologically and the makeup was like kind of by the end melting off my face, but it made sense in the story. So I actually decided to just leave it on, and it was pretty wild. And for me, the big ceremony with that was taking a shower at the end of the shoot. I finally sort of watched the grime like of all the makeup and everything just go down the drain, and it was like me saying goodbye to that character. But that was one character that I found myself very immersed in. There was another one where I was in a film. Actually, I recommend this film. I'm pretty proud of it, and it's really by a talented group of people. It's called It Stains the Sands Red, and I think it's available on Amazon Prime, or it's out there. And it's an indie film where I played a zombie the entire film. The whole film is about a slow moving chase through the Las Vegas desert, and it's a one
Oh,
zombie, one girl, and it's slow moving. So all she has to do is just stay like 5 steps ahead, and she's fine. But the problem is then how do you sleep? How do you stop for whatever you got to stop for? And it's a really great film. And so playing, and then I never played a zombie before. The makeup for that was about 5 hours to put on and 3 hours to remove. So I was like, that was another one where I'm like, I'm sleeping in the zombie makeup. Like that one, I had to take it off every 3 days or so. But I remember in the mornings I'd stop at a coffee shop to get a coffee on the way to set, and I go in my zombie makeup, and I got some looks, man. It was pretty wild. But yeah, I find that helps if you can stay in it and immerse as much as possible. Like there's definitely something to that.
which characters do you get recognized for the most?
Yeah, it's funny that it hasn't happened that much that I'll be recognized. But the character of Carlos later from Narcos, especially
Oh
because
yeah.
way back it's already been like I think 4 or 5 seasons since my season. I was in the very first 4 episodes of the series, and when that was kind of freshly out, I would get recognized for that. And then uh, there's another cult film I did. I call it a cult. It's the same people actually that made It Stains the Sands Red. It's called Grave Encounters, and it's a found footage horror movie. And it kind of blew up. We shot it for like nothing. The budget was tiny. We spent 8 days like locked in this like abandoned mental institution. Basically, it was a wild shoot. But I've been recognized from that, and I think there's a show in Canada I did called The Romeo Section where I played a lead in a series, and so there was that. I haven't been recognized for Claws yet, not yet, but you
It's
never know.
coming.
It's coming. Even though Joe Dupree's been out of the picture for a while, but yeah, that was a fun show.
And speaking of Claus, what was it like working alongside Niecy Nash? Because I know Niecy, her character on the show, Desna,
Yeah.
is completely different. She's a boss. She's about her money. She's about her nail business. She's about doing other stuff, you know, what goes on in the shop and everything. But outside of that, we've seen Niecy outside of the show, and she is just so funny. So what was it like working alongside Niecy Nash?
Niecy's wonderful. The most experience I had working with her, we had a couple of scenes together where we acted together, but actually it was really cool to have her direct me because she directed one, maybe two of the episodes. I think it was one in that season, but so that was actually really wonderful to be directed by Niecy Nash. I think she was she was just really open to my ideas, and she made it a very safe and fun environment. Enjoyed working with her, and then of course the times that I did get to act with her, she was wonderful. But most of my stuff was with Carrie Preston, who.
And we're back.
And we're back.
We'll say yes.
Oh, you didn't? I guess you didn't catch.
Yeah, I didn't get the last part you were saying about Carrie
Carrie
Preston.
Preston. She directed an episode as well, and I mean, she brings so much to her role, and I should say roles because on the show it's almost like she's playing many different characters, just the way that her character is, and she was really great. It was such a treat to get to be a part of that.
And Joe was a bit of a bad boy. That's all I'm going to say. I can't give away too much for Claus. You guys just definitely please go and check it out. And I hate that the show ended. They had their final season. I'm just like, we want more because there's always a plot twist at the end of each season of that particular program.
I know. I was really bummed when I heard it was being. At least they did get that extra season, which was really nice to try to wrap things up a little bit. But yeah. Yeah, and Joe is he's a piece of work. Like I say, I play a lot of those twisted dudes, but it was a lot of fun.
All right, fashion dolls, we're going to get to our games. With Juan, I can't keep him, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to get to our games, and then we're going to close out in a little bit. So the first game is called the Rapid 5. And Juan has to tell us 5 things he can't live without. And then the next one is going to be called Turn the Tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions uncensored and unfiltered. So are you guys ready for that? This is where you get to know a little bit more about the hostess, Miss Stevie. My likes, my dislikes, my passions, goals, whatever it is. So we're going to start off with the Rapid 5. What are 5 things that Juan can't live without?
Oh, wow. Well, the thing that immediately comes to mind is my family, obviously, my wife and my boys, and then my parents. And I'm gonna put family all together because otherwise I'm just gonna be listing off 5 different. That's obviously number 1 for me. Number 2 is creativity, my career, acting, directing, whatever outlets I can find, major for me. Number 3 would be chicken. I don't know why. I just I love chicken so much, and I was trying to do the math of how many chickens I've eaten in my life. I feel kind of bad actually, but it's just that's my go-to. I just love chicken. I don't know why that came into my brain. Number 4, traveling. Traveling is huge. That was the biggest challenge with COVID is being locked into one spot, and I love to see the world whenever I can. And number 5, drum roll please, the game, and Scott's gonna appreciate this, the game of poker. I love it. That's my passion actually. I play a lot of cards and play poker, and my dream is to go really deep in a major event in the World Series of poker, which I'll probably be playing this year. And I'd say let's go with that. Sorry, I don't know if that was rapid enough.
That's five. That is definitely five. And you started off with family, and I base my show off of family
Oh,
values. You
good.
know, family and having that strong, solid support circle to get you through 100%. All right.
Yeah.
So here we go, fashion dolls. It is time to turn those tables. My heart is beating so fast. I can't believe I'm sitting right here in front of Joe from Close. So I thought you was gonna be a lot like your character, but the complete opposite. So let's get into the turn the tables, fashion dolls. And Juan gets to ask me as many questions as he wants to, uncensored and unfiltered.
Oh, wait, I'm asking you questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Well, um, all right. What's your vice?
My
Your
vice
vice.
or advice.
No, what's your vice? Like
My vice.
something naughty that you shouldn't, that you just like, yeah. Do you have a vice? Like mine would be I would say poker is my vice because it's like
Ooh,
something like, uh, yeah.
mine would have to be, and I'm pretty sure a lot of women can relate to this. It is definitely
We're back.
okay. I was saying that my vice would have to be, and it is a guilty pleasure for a lot of women. I'm pretty sure that they can relate to that. Is shopping. I am Miss Stevie. I am a shopaholic. I love to just shop, so I would have to say my vice would have to be shopping.
That's great. That makes sense. I mean, that's like my bargaining tool with my wife. Like that's how I get her to let me play poker. It's like, oh, well, you can do some shopping and I can play some poker. It's like it balances out. So I get that. Um, have you ever had a pet?
Yes, I actually have two of them, and we're babysitting the other one for my brother. She is a Yorkie poo. Her name is Coco, and I posted a pic of her here on the gram. And as soon as I posted, everybody went crazy. Like, no, I don't have a dog. This is my brother's dog. But we also have a Chihuahua as well too, and they've grown attached to each other. So it's a good little mix. So we have two pets
And
actually.
what are their
Yes.
names?
Jack and Coco. Coco is kind of tan and she's black by the color of my hair. She's tan and she's black. So beautiful, beautiful Yorkie poo.
Cool. Where do you live? This, I guess, yeah, I don't even know. Where are you located?
I'm in South Carolina, so I'm a Southern girl down here in the South, and I love it. You know, we're close to Myrtle Beach, and everybody knows everybody down here. So yeah.
Oh, cool. What kind of car do you drive?
I don't have a car. That would be something that I put on my dream list or my bucket list, or I like to create vision boards. So definitely, definitely.
Okay, cool. One more question. Um, what's the favorite place you've ever traveled to?
My favorite place that I've ever traveled to, I would have to say New York because I have family there. And for me, I went when I was like, what, 8 years old? And I've toured the avenues, and my father just took me all around New York. Me and my brother at that time, we were so young. And my aunt and her husband went with us as well, too. So it was a good trip. And I would love to go back to New York. So I would have to say New York, the Big Apple.
Cool. That's where I proposed to my wife, New York.
Really?
Yeah, Central Park.
And it's beautiful. It's huge. Like you don't run out of options. Like I'm a fashion girl, as you guys can see from my Instagram. I'm always posting looks and things. New York Fashion Week. So definitely go to New York. It's the place to be.
Cool.
All right, fashion dolls, and that concludes. I don't know if Juan has any more questions for me.
Um, no, I think we got five in there. I got you. We're good.
All right, fashion dolls. Then that's it. All right. So I'm gonna let Juan close it out. Do you have any advice that you would like to give to up and coming actors that follow your career? Because again, like I said in the beginning of this interview, you have such a prolific career of work, and I'm so honored that you would come on my platform and that I got to speak with you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's hard, yeah, giving advice. I mean, everybody's different, but I guess I can just give advice from my own experience that I I think when you start out as an actor, you put yourself out there for absolutely anything that you can. Make yourself available. You're gonna have to make some sacrifices, and that's why I have 109 credits or whatever it is because a lot of those credits started out as like little tiny student films, independent films, and that was for me my film school. That's where I learned to do it, and there was you learn from failure, and so you have to fall on your face a lot to get better, and that was for me. It was that's the advice that I would give, and it's also a great way to meet people that are going to be a lot of these people are going to be doing this for years and years to come. So and you're just branching out, extending your network, and that would be my advice.
All right. Is there any projects you want to plug? Let everyone know where they can follow you at.
Yeah, you can follow me right here. I think it's all linked up with my Instagram, which is just my name at Juan Riedinger, and I have a Twitter that's the same handle, and those are the two, I guess, main ones. And then I'm making a film. I'm making my first feature film actually. That I'm going to be directing because I've directed about a dozen shorts, and it's time now to make a feature. And we've been developing it for like 3 years. So right now we're just in this phase where we're trying to secure the financing, and we've got a distributor attached, and it's going to be a badass film. Very confident and proud of what. Just keep an eye out for that. And if you have any spare cash kicking around, get in touch, and you can be an investor on the project.
Okay. All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Juan Riedinger. I can't believe that I got the honor to sit with you today on my platform. Again, your work is incredible, and I'm such a fan, and I'm just honored. So,
oh,
thank you.
Thank you for reaching out. That really means a lot. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. This was great.
And we definitely got to have you in the dollhouse again in the future. Just let me know, definitely.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Fashion Dolls, joining me tomorrow. We have Dante Sells, so make sure you guys tune in. And again, special thanks to Juan. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Mwah.
Take care.
See ya.
Mwah.